where we were going the first part of this year. So obviously in 2024, we had another election. Former President Donald Trump against then President Joe Biden, and then Vice President Kamala Harris. And President Donald Trump won a second term. And the anticipation was that policy would change very similarly to what it was in Trump's first term. And based upon that, we started to see consumer confidence rise. So prior to this, we were seeing investors who were facing foreclosures in huge numbers. Hard money guys were having to take properties back. Many of my friends who were long on flipping properties were losing millions of dollars in that market. But here comes a change. President Donald Trump gets reelected. Consumer confidence starts to change. And right before the election, it looked like the Fed was going to get a little bit more serious about economic policy. But again, they overdid it, dropping the base rate by a whole point right before an election. And I'm not saying that it was done in order to try to change what was going on in the election cycle, but it looked pretty much like that's what the reason is, especially when we look back now since that decision was made and after the election, the position that the Fed has taken that have all been contrary to the economic plan of the current administration. So we come to the first part of this year, and we start to see consumer confidence come up. Interest rates haven't gone down. Interest rates were still, we're still hovering. But what we're starting to see is a little bit of a change now in where we're going in the first part of the year. But what happened is we saw in the first quarter where people started to say, okay, well, interest rates are a little bit higher, but based on these economic policies, we think the future bodes for lower interest rates. And so we actually started to see a little bit of an economic turn up in the first quarter, probably right till about the first part of April. Well, what happened around the first part of April? President Donald Trump started talking about tariffs. And as soon as he started talking about tariffs, the news cycle changed and started saying this is the worst idea ever. This is going to create incredible inflation. It's going to stymie the economy. It's going to cause interest rates to go up. And this was their hypothesis. This is what they thought would happen based upon this decision to implement a new tariff system amongst not only China, but also all of the developing nations in the world, and actually all of the nations that trade with the U.S.